Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Table Swap. My name is Mental Mike. I'm joined here, as always, with the man with the best beer in the business. He's the host of Boom every Wednesday night after AEW Dynamite. My co-host here every Monday night for the Table Spot, Mr. Cam G. Cam, how you doing on this wonderful Monday evening?
It was a very slow, very dry Monday evening. Football is very slow. It's turning out to be a blowout between Kansas City and the Commanders. Monday Night Raw tonight. Didn't really feel like Monday Night Raw. If you ask me, I'm still waiting on Monday Night Raw to start because I just didn't feel like Monday Night Raw to me. Other than that, man, I'm doing good. So I'm here. I'm here to talk about some Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because today kind of went super fast, and then Monday Night Raw starts. And I look, so I try not to look at my clock or any type of watch or anything for at least, and here's the thing is I don't know whether it's an hour or not because I'm not looking at any type of clock. I just want to see, like, give Raw a little bit of time until I actually look at some type of clock or anything again. And I looked at the clock at about 9 o'clock and it felt like Raw was on for 2 hours already.
Yeah.
I'm like, tonight is going super slow. And then I sigh like that in our pre-show meetup, and you're like, and just the words of, that's what Raw felt like tonight. And you are not wrong. It felt like a very big sigh, like a complete 360 from last week.
Yeah.
Like, why do they do that?
Yeah.
Why do they do that to us? Like, you give us a good show last week. Build off your momentum.
Yeah.
It's not like Raw is building off the momentum of SmackDown. They're two completely different shows. It's not like Raw is building off the momentum of NXT. They're two completely different shows.
Yeah.
What happened? You even had me excited for the main event tonight until we got to the main event tonight. What happened? You're just as speechless as I am right now. I mean, it's really just that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I mean, we're going to talk about Raw from I didn't even make a banner for tonight, man. I probably should do that. I should probably do that. There we go. See, look at that. Raw from Anaheim tonight. Raw taking place out in Anaheim, California tonight on October 27th, 2025. Cam, we are about 4 days away from Halloween. Super excited. I love Halloween. You know, I usually do a movie marathon 2 days before Halloween. I start on the night of the 29th, and then I'm done on the night of the 31st. And it's usually a two-night thing. I stay up for, or try to at my best, staying up 48 hours. And as you know, I stayed up 24 hours from Saturday night to yesterday, and I pulled it off. I was able to stay up to 24 hours, but then my sleeping was just kind of messed up last night. Had to sleep in intervals to kind of feel better because I felt like complete fucking shit last night. I don't think I could do 24 hours anymore. So I'm going to try and do a whole new movie marathon thing for Halloween, you know, start a new tradition because I'm getting old, man. I can't do the 24-hour thing anymore. I can't. And it sucks because when you suffer from insomnia, the two just don't mix. It's terrible. It's terrible. But Monday Night Raw taking place out in Anaheim, California tonight on October 27th, 2025, week of Halloween. And tonight felt like a horror show. And I don't mean that in a good way because I love horror movies. It was a good mix because it's Halloween week. And let's talk about the main event first. We got Lyra Valkyria and Bayley, who won the number one contenders match from last week. Or no, they didn't even win the number one contenders match. Bayley said she had a surprise for Lyra because it was her birthday. And she had to wait until this week to find out what it was. And then we get the announcement that it is for the Women's Tag Team Championships. They are challenging for the Women's Tag Team titles in the main event tonight. And I mean, I'll say this, Cam, again, you got us excited for this main event tonight. And we talked about this last week of what if it's for the women's tag team titles? What if it's Lyra and Bailey going for the women's tag team titles? How freaking awesome would that be? You know, how awesome would it have been if they won the women's tag team titles and what they could have done with the women's tag team titles? We get to the match, and the match was nothing special. Absolutely nothing special. So, I mean, Charlotte and Alexa, they end up retaining the women's tag team titles. Kabuki Warriors come out because the Kabuki Warriors all night have been trying to make their case that they should be challenging for the women's tag team championships. They come out, they attack Alexa and Charlotte. They were about to attack Bailey, and for some reason there was some kind of stare down. Like, could have been any more obvious that there might be something between Bailey and the Kabuki Warriors. That stare down told me, like, I think there might be something between them. But we'll see. And then the show goes off the air, and we're left with absolutely nothing too exciting after the match. So, Cam, number one, I ask you every week what you would grade Monday Night Raw, and then if you want to jump right into giving your thoughts on the main event tonight.
First of all, we got a new one from Virgo.
We do. Yes. I got the book.
Secondly, my grade for Monday Night Raw, I'm giving it a D+. And that's probably being generous, to be completely honest with you. Like I said, it didn't feel like Monday Night Raw. I think so much more this was the perfect go-home show for Saturday night's main event, because they just seemed really, really focused, and it just seemed just by their booking and just the programming they put on tonight, the show that they put on tonight, just seemed like they were really just had tunnel vision, I guess, focusing on Saturday night's main event. They didn't really focus anything on building new stories or storytelling at any point. It was really just kind of we're moving on from one thing to the next, you know, at a snail's pace. And I think that's, I mean, again, I said this before about Saturday night's main event. It's not about storylines or whatever. It's really just about the spectacle of having a WWE show on a Saturday night. You know, you get these one-off matches that you might not see from a Raw superstar versus SmackDown superstar. You might see that stuff. So that's what they do, because they're not really trying to carry over any storylines, because they don't need to, because there's just one-offs until another 4 or 5 months down the line, and they have another Saturday night's main event. So it's not a weekly thing. So it makes sense. And that's what this felt like. They built a lot of one-offs. I mean, I like the way they focused on the World Heavyweight Championship. That's probably the most important thing, next to the Women's Championship match with Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. On that card. So it's a solid card thus far. Probably one of the more solid cards I think they've built for Saturday night's main event. So Raw tonight I think was just a perfect layup, I think, for Saturday's main event, because it really just didn't feel like Monday Night Raw. Now on to the main event. I liked it. I mean, it didn't necessarily get me out of my seat. It's not like it's a heart pumping, I'm sweating bullets, oh my goodness, I'm biting my nails type of match necessarily, but it was good for what they did. The performances that these four women put on were great, and they had the women's tag team titles highlighted in the main event, so that's a plus for them, and a plus for the women's tag team titles, since they don't really do much with those titles in the first place. I mean, Alexa and Charlotte won those titles, went off to SmackDown, and those titles have not been even spoken of since they took those titles to SmackDown. I think they went with the right decision here, having them retain the championships. Them putting the titles on Bailey and Lyra, I think would have been a slight mistake, just because it's kind of sort of putting them into a corner, because then it's just like, okay, you're back to square one in a way, because now it's like, okay, well, what's next? Who do they really challenge? You know, maybe the Kabuki Warriors, I guess, but I feel like there's still that unfinished story with Rhea and Io. That's really, really unfinished. So I can see them going in that direction. I mean, after the match, they retained the titles. I like the finish. Overall, yeah, the finish was good. I mean, you made a move that I'm not really a fan of in the natural selection, and you actually made it look cool. So that's definitely a plus in my eyes. So I like that. I like the double natural selection from Alexa and Charlotte. I like the attack afterwards. I even said it like, oh, this is very interesting to see them come out. I mean, they had stated earlier that they wanted the women's tag team titles or women's tag team title shot. So, but it was very interesting to see them come out and attack again, because like I said, Alexa and Charlotte are not Raw regulars. They're on SmackDown mainly. So this is very interesting. They could end up just blending all these storylines together and putting in Lyra and Bailey in the mix with Kabuki Warriors and in the mix with Lyra and Rhea, and all this could be for the tag team titles. And this is the most storytelling or the most interesting thing they've done with the women's tag team titles in a while. So I'm not really opposed to it. We just got to see if they really pick things up with that. Because the wrong move to do, I would say, is then just to have Charlotte and Alexa go back to SmackDown and they just drop this whole thing, dead in our laps, and it's just dead in the water for the next couple of weeks. So, but a fine tag team match. They went with the right decision for the champions to retain. We'll see where we go with the Kabuki Warriors.
I'll give them the benefit of the doubt tonight because of the fact that Saturday night's main event is coming up, and I'll give them a D- tonight. I will. There was one thing that I did like, and that was that Asuka legacy video that they put together.
That was pretty cool. Yeah.
That was a really cool little thing that they did because she's coming up on her 10-year mark of being in WWE.
Yeah.
So it was a cool legacy video to do for her. And there were a few things that I was interested in seeing on this show. And we'll talk about that stuff. I do have an idea for the women's tag team titles. War Games is coming up. We are less than a month away from War Games. And they're kind of starting to tease us a little bit of what the men's War Game might look like. How would you feel about this? For the women's War Game match, instead of it being the traditional team versus team, what if they incorporated the women's tag team titles? What if they had 2 cages, or if they can pull together 6 teams, have 4 cages, and it holds each team, and you do the women's tag team title match almost War Game / Elimination Chamber style, to where every 90 seconds, every 120 seconds in the interval, a team comes in, and then once everybody's from all the teams are in, then it begins, and then you can go and try and win the match. Try and make the women's tag team titles seem a little more important because of how dead in the water they are right now.
I mean, I would say do I would say do 8 women. So you're doing
so 4 teams.
4 teams.
Okay.
And I would just do a tag team style. So the way I would say maybe instead of doing the whole the cages on the outside of the ring, how they do that, I would say just have them come from the back, kind of almost like Royal Rumble style.
Okay.
After so many intervals or whatever, and then it's just one partner and then the next partner or whatever, and it's just at random. You don't know who's coming out next. That's the way I would do it. And then, like I said, make that for the tag team titles. Like I said, it would just look like a traditional 2-ring, 1 big cage War Game style. I wouldn't even do elimination style. I think that's overcomplicating things.
No.
And like I said, that's the way I would do War Games this year. I think that would be great for the tag team titles. I don't see why not. What better way to highlight your tag team titles?
Yeah, and that's what I mean, is just do it the War Game style, to where once all the teams are in, the match officially begins and you can crown a winner. No elimination, no nothing like that. It's just first pinfall or submission wins the match, and you win the tag belts. Simple as that. Because right now, are they really teasing a women's War Game match right now? Are they really giving us something that could say, like, this looks like it could be the way, and they did that a year or two ago, to where they literally did not make the women's War Game match until the Monday before War Games.
Yeah.
Like, they waited until last minute to give us that match.
Yeah.
And right now it seems like they're going down that road again, because the men, they've been teasing what we might see at War Games, but the women, nothing at all. They have all these things happening with Bailey, Lyra, the Kabuki Warriors, Io, Rhea, and you could probably throw in the women's tag champs because they are the champions. Why not just do it this way instead of giving us that traditional War Games match?
Yeah.
Change it up a little bit. Give us something different. Or if you want to have a women's War Game match, make this a 3rd match. Give us a 3rd War Games match, because eventually, and they talked about this a couple months ago, that eventually there's going to be up to 10 PLEs that are going to be 2 nights. And Survivor Series is bound to be one of them.
Yeah.
You're not just going to give us 2 War Game matches for 2 nights and then throw normal matches at us for the rest of the night. 4 regular matches and a War Games match. I could see us getting at least 3 War Games matches in the span of 2 days. But that's something we'll have to see when that time comes. But yeah, I just want to throw that idea out. I figured, hey, why not? I mean, it'd be a little more interesting. So let's rewind all the way back to the beginning of the show. Jey Uso came out to kick off the show, and we got the normal Jey Uso music stop, start things over again. He starts talking about the world title match that is happening on Saturday. That's Saturday night's main event against CM Punk. He tried to keep his promo short and sweet. Pretty much went out, claimed he was going to win, and then he was getting ready to just bail out. CM Punk's music hits, and CM Punk did the whole run back thing with his music, which was kind of funny, but he told Jay, like, look, I'm not trying to steal your stuff or anything like that, but 4 letters, 1 word, Punk. It's like, dude, you are trying to, like, bait him at this point. You are trying to piss him off purposely just to get under his skin. And CM Punk said that this match is a little hard for him because him and Jay are friends, but he just kept picking at Jay to the point where Jay didn't seem too happy at the end of this whole back and forth. And CM Punk did ask Jey Uso one question: how far will you go? We know that you're ready for this match. We know that you are capable of being in this match. You are capable of becoming world champion, but you've never faced a champion like me. I need to know how far you will go. I mean, Jey Uso took on Gunther. Just saying. True. But that seemed to light more of a fire under Jey Uso's ass, and that's where this promo ended, to the point where Jey Uso looked a little upset, and CM Punk walked away with a slight smile on his face. Cam, you had mentioned to me about you think that we may see a Jey Uso heel turn. So, sir, what do you think about this? Where do you see this being a possible Jey Uso heel turn?
So it's being heavily talked about amongst the community and whatnot have you, that the possibility of a Jey Uso heel turn. Now, initially, I'm thinking, like, there's just no way. The guy's just the red hot babyface right now. I just don't see it. I don't think I even want to know what that looks like as him as heel. But I don't know with this. I mean, just that line alone with that Punk had said with I want to know how far you're willing to go, and that line there just made me feel like, okay, they didn't just say that just because they didn't just throw that out there just willy-nilly thinking that just meant nothing. I think that's planting the seeds right there. I think that's a little Easter egg right there planted, because if you pay attention, after Punk said that was when that switch went off with Jay, and his whole demeanor with Punk just shifted. So I was like, okay, there might be something here. So I could see it. I don't know how they do it. I don't know if he does something, the ref's knocked out or behind the ref's back or something like that. I don't know, but my thing is, my take, or how I would do it, is I would have Punk be the one to turn heel. I've said this before.
Yeah.
I think it's just so easy for him to just kind of, I don't know, flip back and forth to heel babyface. And he doesn't really have to change much, I mean, I think since coming back to the company, I mean, it's no secret, the man is the man of controversy. Let's just say that amongst the community, they can use that, and it would just piss those kinds of people off even more. And like I said, it would just be more heat, and that natural kind of heat that you don't have to force is always just better, in my opinion. So not a bad promo here for sure, but I could easily see them going with Jay and him turning heel.
I'm with you. I feel like CM Punk going heel would be a much better move. We've talked about CM Punk possibly turning heel, possibly going with the Bronze and Paul Heyman somewhere down the road. Whether CM Punk would go with them or not, it doesn't matter. Him turning heel would be more detrimental to the story than a Jey Uso turning heel. Because right now they don't have the actual heel in the storyline around Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is out with his injury. And when Seth comes back, whenever Seth comes back, if Seth comes back, we know Seth's focus isn't going to be around CM Punk. It's not going to be around Jey Uso. It may not even be around whoever the world champion is unless it's Braun Breaker. Because he's going to want to come back and take care of the Bronze and Paul Heyman. And that's even if that group is still together by the time Seth comes. Yeah. Because we don't know the extent of Seth's injury. I mean, if it's going to be a full year or 8 months, there could be a massive change of direction with everything by the time Seth even comes back. God. You know what? I'm going to say this right now. This episode of Raw probably could have used Omos. It probably could have. It probably would have been a lot more interesting tonight if Omos showed up and did something. Just saying, if he would have came in and just chokeslammed somebody tonight, whatever, probably would have been more interesting. Maybe he's the one walking around with that mysterious walk, and we I think it's Gunther or Ludwig, but I mean, what if it's Omos? Who knows? But I think it would be a lot more interesting of the fact of CM Punk turning heel than Jay. We did get Jay and Jimmy in the back, and they talked about the Battle Royal last week. Jimmy went up to Jay and said, like, look, I tried to save you. I saved you a couple times in that Battle Royal, and then the first opportunity you got to eliminate me, you took it. And Jay tried to use the excuse of, no, I was trying to eliminate LA Knight. Jimmy went right into him and said, and this is what I liked about this little transition here, whatever you want to call it, is the fact of Jimmy didn't play it off to the fact of trying to believe Jay. Okay. Jimmy was like, I went back and watched the tape and I seen your face. You intentionally eliminated me. Like, They didn't try and do that stupid, like, oh, well, okay. Yeah. They didn't try and play it off. They actually ran with the fact that he went back and watched the tape, which I liked. And Jimmy walked away from Jay, not happy. 2 segments later, after I message you and say, are we really going to get Jimmy and Jay number 2? Are they really setting us up for that? 2 segments later, they're handshaking, hugging, and saying, cool, we're brothers, love you, and that's that. So that was the extent of Jimmy and Jay too, I guess.
Yeah.
Little argument, and that's all we need. We don't need a match. We don't need a story.
No.
We don't need what we got at WrestleMania 40. I didn't try and rhyme there. That just happened. Just leave it at what it's at now. Hell, if you really want to turn Jay heel, your opportunity opened up with this because of the fact Jimmy could come out and help Jay on Saturday night. And then they both turn heel. We get the Usos fully back together, and they're heels again. Your thoughts on that, Cam? How would you feel about that?
I mean, it depends on what Roman's going to do.
Okay.
That's what I think. I think he's the missing piece to this whole Usos thing. I still think maybe it plays a part in War Games. I have no idea what they're doing for War Games, personally. They haven't built anything for the men or the women's. I think Seth was a big part of that, and he got hurt, and I think right now they are in the midst of rewriting what War Games for the men is going to look like. I think they completely scrapped what they were originally going to do, and now it's just pretty much a waiting game until they start to build for War Games. I don't think they start building for War Games until after this little speed bump known as Saturday Night's Main Event. Once they get over that, I think they then start building. I think they feel like they don't have to necessarily build like anytime soon, because Survivor Series is at like the end of November. So they're just like, yeah, we got time. So they're probably going to end up, it's either going to be a disaster because they throw something together and it's going to feel thrown together and there's just no story there at all. or it's going to work out in their favor, even when they threw it together last minute. So we'll have to see there. But I'm with you. I'm glad we did not see or not getting. I hope not, anyways, because they could WWE or professional wrestling in general, they could turn a 360 in 2 weeks and we still get the match.
Yeah.
But as for right now, it doesn't appear like we're going to get Jimmy and Jay too. So that's yeah, exactly. Because I don't want to see that, not at all. So again, we'll see where they go from here. I definitely liked it. I liked how they incorporated what happened last week with the whole battle royal and things like that. That was what I was kind of hoping, and I'm jumping ahead here, but that was what I was kind of hoping with the Judgment Day, because I paid close attention to Dom when I think Finn and JD were in trouble of getting eliminated, and he just sat there. Like that whole shot was perfect, because it was the perfect shot of them about to get eliminated, and Dom is literally in the corner, not helping them at all. That was beautiful. So that's what I want them to do with the Judgment Day. Because that's a big, it should be anyways, a big talking point within that group or whatever. But overall, like I said, a good segment with Jimmy and Jay, and thankfully we're not getting Jimmy and Jay too.
And Judgment Day is going to be the next thing we talk about, but real quick, bringing up War Games, I just did a search of possible rumored War Game matches, and there's 4 of them right now out in the atmosphere of rumors. The first one is Team Vision versus Team Punk /Roman. Match number 2 is Team Rio of Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and whoever else will be their team, versus Team Asuka and whoever will be in their team. So the team of Team Vision would be Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and the remaining members of the Vision following Seth Rollins' departure. So whoever would be joined with them. And then Team Roman would be CM Punk, Roman, Jay, and Jimmy, and LA Knight. Okay. For Team Rio, it would be Rhea and Io taking on Asuka and Kairi Sane. And then they don't have any of the other members that would be rumored, but Stephanie Vakir's name and Nikki Bella's name is in there, so I'm guessing they would be part of Rhea Ripley's team. Team Wyatt 6 versus the MFTs. And then the other one is the Vision versus the Bloodline versus CM Punk, LA Knight, and a surprise entrance. So they're looking at like a triple threat type of War Games match. It's pretty much looking at what I just said about the women's tag match a couple minutes ago, So those are the rumors flying around. Who knows? Let's talk about the Judgment Day, though. You brought them up. We had the Judgment Day backstage after the Jey Uso and CM Punk promo, and they were talking about last week with the Battle Royal a little bit, but also with Dom and his defense of the Intercontinental Championship. At the end of everything, during this, Raquel went out and said that if you weren't cheating, you wouldn't have the problems you're in right now. So Raquel calling Dom out on his shit. And as everybody walked away, Roxanne said, maybe I should go check on Dom. And Raquel's like, no, we got our own stuff to take care of. So Raquel kind of separating herself from all the guys' problems. The tag team titles, the Intercontinental Championship. She's kind of like, we got our own stuff to take care of, Roxanne. Let's take care of our problem. All right. We got our own shit to take care of. And that led up to Roxanne taking on Nikki Bella. Roxanne against Nikki Bella. A match that was just, and I'm going to start on this one right now. It was a match. That's all I got to say about it. That's it. Roxanne won clean. And I'll say that. Very happy that Roxanne won clean. The only thing that Raquel did was end up on the apron, but it took 2 more minutes of the match going on in order for Roxanne to win. So Roxanne won clean. The Raquel going up on the apron didn't have any effect. And commentary made it sound that way. Oh, with the addition of Raquel getting involved, she didn't do nothing. She didn't do nothing. Which made no sense to me. But after the match, we got a cool standoff between Stephanie Vakir, who came out to try and help Nikki Bella during a post-match attack. And we got a face-off between Raquel and Stephanie, which looked really cool until Nikki Bella had to stick her nose in it. Looked like a cool standoff. And then Nikki got involved, which was very upsetting. The other stuff happening tonight was JD and Finn Balor going to ask for a tag team title match next week. Adam Pearce told them that they need to take care of other business first. And that was with Sheamus, because Sheamus wasn't happy with the Battle Royal last week, what happened. And then JD said he'll take on Sheamus. Finn Balor helps JD win with hitting Sheamus with a club. And then they go back and say, hey, look, we took care of our business. Pierce called them out on their shit for cheating. And they still ended up getting their tag match because AJ Styles was like, let's just do it. So next week, JD and Finn get their rematch for the tag belts. And yeah, that's everything that happened with the Judgment Day tonight. Cam, I don't even know what to think about the Judgment Day anymore. I like the group. I do. I like it. I still like the fact that they are still going with it. And I know a lot of people online would say that the Judgment Day is dead in the water. But even though I don't incorporate myself with anything that's being said online or get into the comments section, I try not to be a comment section warrior and try and say things, because I keep myself out of it. But I think they're waiting for Liv to come back. I think they're waiting to do something big for when Liv comes back. Because at first, when she got hurt, we knew that it was going to be, 4 months, they said that she was going to be out? At least 4 months, and it's been a little longer. So I thought maybe, hey, they'll keep Raquel and Roxanne as the tag champs, and then when Liv comes back, that could be the start of the storyline. Are we way past that point at this point? Or do you think they could still possibly do it and wait for her to come back? If you want to give your thoughts on all the Judgment Day stuff as well, go for it.
Yeah, so it's okay. So starting at the top, I didn't watch the Nikki Bella match. I didn't care to.
Didn't miss much.
From what you told me, it didn't sound that exciting. Roxanne, good for Roxanne to win cleanly, though. I didn't see that coming either. This stare down between Stephanie and Raquel, I don't mind it. It's not really, to me, it's not I don't know, the most exciting match. If that's our next title defense against Raquel, I don't mind it, I guess. It's okay. Like I said, she definitely needs defenses. So, I mean, it's defense for the sake of defending the title. So I don't mind it. I agree with you. I don't like the fact that she came out to attend to Nikki Bella, who was on the ground. She was laying on the mat before this. And then, of course, she stood up and was toe-to-toe with Raquel. Then all of a sudden, just in that frame with Stephanie and Raquel, all of a sudden you just see Nikki Bella just pop up like nothing happened, and now she's in the frame. It's like, weren't you just on the ground? Like, how'd you just randomly shake that off and now you're just I don't know, it was weird. So I hope they don't get any funny ideas and make that a triple threat, because that does not need to happen. Anyways, so a nice little stare down between Raquel and Stephanie, of course, until Nikki ruined that. The backstage stuff with Judgment Day, like I said, I'm with you. It kind of just goes in circles with the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day is just kind of there. I don't really feel anything with the Judgment Day. They put on, I think they're the most consistent group, though, just because of the fact that they're consistently booked every single Monday Night Raw. Just about, like, if you don't have a Monday Night Raw with at least one of those members of this group being booked in a match, it's like it almost doesn't even feel like Monday Night Raw, because they are literally booked every single Monday night. So probably the hardest working or most booked, at least, Monday Night Raw group probably of all time. Seriously, they don't take any Mondays off. So I don't know the direction of the group. I have no clue. To your question, are they waiting for Liv to come back? Probably. But if that's the case, then they really need to. I mean, they need to move quickly, because it's drying up. I think it's already dried. I think it's already stale as it is, and without the women's tag team titles no longer in this group's possession, I don't know. I don't really know what you do. I mean, are fans even going to be interested in the whole Dom, uh, uh, Raquel and Roxanne dynamic? I don't know anymore. I don't know where they go with that. I still think that we're in for a feud with Roxanne and Liv, possibly. But they definitely got to add something else now that the tag team titles are no longer involved. So I don't know. I don't know what you do there. Like it would be more. It would have been more interesting, I think, if they had turned on Liv, knowing she's going to be injured, or use that as an excuse to write her off television,
Yeah.
the same way they did Seth Rollins with the Vision, because
Yeah.
now we're anticipating Seth to come back, and he's literally going. I mean, the Vision's going to have hell to pay when Seth comes back. Like everybody's anticipating that. They didn't do that with Liv, and I know it was a freak incident and things like that, but now with her coming back, it's like where are we going to go with this now?
Yeah.
There is no fire. There is no nothing. It's not must see television. It's not a must see return with her coming back, and it's a question mark of where she even fits in the group or on the roster in general. So I don't really know what they're waiting for. So I think they're a little bit past the point of just waiting for her to return. They need to do something and add an interesting element now, just to, I don't know, move forward and add something interesting to this group.
Yeah, I remember back a few months ago. I mean, the Judgment Day was the most seen group, like you said, on Raw. Now we go from seeing them for 6 to 8 segments a night down to 2, lucky 3. So they are calming down on the Judgment Day stuff. They are, and I can agree with you. I'm trying to do something really quick here because I want to check something out. Okay. Got what I wanted up because this is going to be a point of discussion real quick. Again, they used to be seeing 6 to 8 segments a night. They got cut down to 2 or 3. They're trying to make them matter as much as they can. They're doing the best too because they are the most seen, like you said, most seen group on Monday Night Raw as of late. And even with having 2 or 3 segments, we're still seeing them the most on Raw because they're involved in a lot of stuff. Finn and JD with the tag titles, Dom with the Intercontinental title, the women trying to either go after a women's world title or the tag team titles. I could agree with you. If they're going to start something for the possibilities of Liv Morgan to come back, they might as well do it. Now, Liv Morgan got injured in June. Okay. And now the expectancy, and this is what I was looking up, was her injury update. She is expected to come back because she got hurt on June 16th. Her return is inevitably for early 2026. There was a video that I seen on social media that somebody said there's a possibility of a Royal Rumble comeback. Possibly. I mean, would it be cool to have her come back at the Royal Rumble? Yeah. But then there's going to be that talk of, oh, Liv's coming back. Why not have her win the Royal Rumble? Why have her win the Royal Rumble? Just because she's coming back from injury. That's almost we've seen that way too much. So you're going to want her winning the Royal Rumble, superseding her coming back and taking care of the business that needs to be taken care of in the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
That's almost like what they did, what was it, last year? When, Bianca Belair wins the Elimination Chamber, but she's in the middle of a storyline with Naomi and Jade. And they completely wiped that storyline away. I don't think you could do that again with the Judgment Day. I don't think they can. That's why I wouldn't have Liv come back until the Raw after Rumble. That way you can just focus on her. Can Liv Morgan go after a world title, possibly at WrestleMania? Yes. Because that would be the focus of, oh, she's coming back. Have her win the Rumble because she's going to get a pop. So have her complete what she's got to in the Judgment Day and have her win the fucking Elimination Chamber. Simple as that. And then have her go for a world title at Mania. Instead of having the coincidental or the predictable thing of her coming out and winning the Royal Rumble. Start something now, though. because it is October. Rumble is 3.5 months away. Or start something after Survivor Series. That way we don't have to get long, drawn-out stories that may get boring by the time Liv makes a return.
Yeah.
You know, maybe start incorporating some Liv Morgan pre-taped things of her possible return. Or start getting her involved digitally. That way it shows that she's part of the Judgment Day and she's kind of like saying, hey, I've been watching everything you guys have been doing. And it's a mess. We need to clean it up. You know, stuff like that. Something interesting. Because it's, again, I used to love this group and I still do, but they're just not hitting like they used to. And we talk about this all the time. Every time we talk like this about the Judgment Day, they always find a way to make it interesting again. That's why I'm talking shit now, because then maybe starting next week, they'll start getting interesting again. Put that out in the atmosphere. You know, I'm going to try and pull your strategic. You put things out in the atmosphere, and when you say it, it happens. So maybe it will work for me too. I don't know. But speaking of Judgment Day, Dominic Mysterio, again, he has his own shit going on. Number one contenders match tonight between Penta and Rusev ended abruptly, got thrown out because El Grande Americano, and I call them the Patriot Patrol because they don't have an actual name.
Patriot Patrol's crazy.
I mean, why not? Give them something, Cam. I mean, you know, we sat here. What group was it, or what tag team was it we were giving a name to for weeks until we actually got a name? Who was it?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I'll never remember.
But we're gonna call them. I'm gonna call them the Patriot Patrol. If you guys have another name, by all means, I'd love to hear them. Adam Pearce then runs into Dominic Mysterio backstage with El Grande and the Patriot Patrol, and Dom was trying to say that he knew nothing about them getting involved, and Pearce just wasn't buying it. And he said Saturday night's main event triple threat: Rusev, Penta, and Dom. I mean, we're going to talk about Saturday night's main event for a little bit after we're done talking Raw because we got two more things to talk about. But, I mean, how do you feel about a triple threat match happening for the Intercontinental title?
I mean, it's okay. Again, it's not super exciting, I guess, because I don't think Rusev's walking out.
No.
And I don't think Penta's walking out either.
Nope.
But this is good. This is good for Dom. Once again, this is just he's defending this championship about as much as Gunther was almost. You know, he's up there. I think so. So, yeah, I think it's another. On paper, it looks like another successful defense.
Yeah.
I think Penta is strictly just in here to eat the pin. I think that's the move to go with, honestly, to save Rusev from eating another pin. You know, since they've kind of just flatlined with anything interesting or creative with him here in recent weeks. So, but it's okay. I don't think this match is necessarily going to steal the show or whatnot have you. It's just a defense.
I mean, I like that they made the match, but I'm with you. I don't see Penta or Rusev walking out with that belt. I mean, Dom, and that's the thing with Dom. It's like he gets booed at certain points, but he also gets cheered at certain points. Ever since he won the Intercontinental title, he's been getting a lot more of the fan being on his side with him being the Intercontinental champion. But then when he does something people don't like, it's like, oh, I'm going to do stuff that people don't like, but you guys like the fact that I'm the Intercontinental champion. So, it's almost like a make up your mind type of thing. Do you like it or not?
He's the heel they love to hate.
Exactly. So we'll talk more about the IC title when we talk about Saturday night's main event. We had the Bronze and Heyman backstage, and they were talking about the Battle Royal last week. They said, "Oh, we should have went in there and dominated and won, and yada yada yada. Closest and easiest way to get to the world title." And Paul Heyman threw out some pretty. I'll say this: if I was in Braun Breaker's shoes, I would have been like, you know what, Paul, you're making sense. Because instead of going in there and taking care of 17 other guys, because that was the number of people who participated in the Battle Royal last week, 17, odd number, you only have to take care of one. And that is one LA Knight, because LA Knight did an interview and said that he was still focused on going after the world title. And Heyman said that he got Braun Breaker a match against the person that's going to be in their way, and that is one LA Knight. Braun Breaker was kind of happy about that. They went out, had their match, and I'm not too excited about this. I'm not. And LA Knight, number one, if they were to pull the trigger on him becoming the world champion, would I be okay with it? I think I would. But I think they missed their mark on him. I think they did. And with Seth being out, I think they're still going to miss their mark. Because I don't see LA Knight between now and the time Seth comes back ever holding the world title. It's almost like when Roman was champion. Roman had that title locked down until they pulled it with Cody winning at 40. Okay? LA Knight had a few opportunities there, and they didn't do it. It's like the Sami Zayn effect. You put Sami Zayn in a good position, and you don't do anything with it. It's almost like over in AEW. You know, you put Mark Briscoe in certain situations, you raise him up week by week on Dynamite, but then you put him in a title opportunity position, and you don't go with it. I feel like they missed the mark with LA Knight. I do. And I don't, would it be exciting if he won a world championship? Yeah. But I feel like it would get old very fast. I don't think the fans would ride with it longer than 4 months. It would be a 4-month kind of thing. Cool, he's the world champion. But then people will start asking who's going to be the world champion next. Who's going to beat him for it? Somebody's got to go out and beat him for it. That's what we'll get. It's like the instant gratification effect. We got LA Knight as champion. Cool. 3 months later, somebody's got to beat him for this title. We got to change champions. But your thoughts on Braun and LA Knight?
Braun, I mean, I'm with you. I'm not too excited for it, really. I'm just glad this did main event. We finally got something different in the main event. I don't know. They're just going around and around and around, and not much progression with this. So yeah, I'm with you. It just wasn't exciting. They're at the, LA Knight I think is on a unfortunate Drew McIntyre run on Raw, where he's always set up to look like he's the guy that could hold, the top prize, and then just never does. He always gets stepped over or passed over for the next guy that they want to put over. And that's unfortunate, because I think he has all of the tools. He can go in the ring. The dude's got the physique. He's got the look. He can talk on the mic. He's charismatic. He has the fans behind him. What more do you need with LA Knight? I don't understand it. He's the perfect champion, if you ask me. I mean, to your point of it wouldn't last longer than 4 months. I mean, probably, but I mean, that's with every champion. They always get behind the flavor of the month for baby faces, and they clamor to see them as champion. And then it only lasts a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and then they start wondering who's going to be the next champion. And that's just more so to the point. It could be more instant gratification, but I think it's more so over to just the fact that the chase is just more exciting than the actual reign itself. It's for anybody, either heel or babyface. The chase is always more exciting, and that's what people like to see. They like to see you trying to get to that ultimate prize or climb that mountain. But with LA Knight, though, they've gone to him a couple of times now. I felt like him going to Raw was the reset and the refresh he needed, because it's too stacked on SmackDown, and nobody right now, I feel like, is touching Cody Rhodes. He's got that WWE Championship locked under lock and key. Like, I don't see who's beating Cody Rhodes. I really don't know, unless Roman goes back over there and they restart Roman and Cody's feud. I don't know. So he desperately needed to come to Raw. And then again, it's unfortunate because now you got Punk, you got Jay, you got Seth, and he's just again being overlooked by more top talent that I guess they just see them more qualified to be in that world title picture than him. So it's very unfortunate for him, because he's at a stalemate right now. I don't know what more he needs to do. I don't know if he needs a heel turn. I think maybe that's a mistake. But I mean, even when he's talking tonight, And normally when he shows up on screen, you hear this massive reaction for LA Knight. I didn't get that.
Nope.
The reaction is kind of just toned down. Even when he hits his iconic with everybody saying LA Knight, it was like a delay, and then they started doing the LA Knight thing, and it's just still it wasn't as loud and just overwhelming through your TV screen. I just didn't feel that. So I feel like they are killing his momentum a lot by giving him these opportunities, by setting him up for the big stage, and then just continuously missing the mark every single time with LA Knight. I feel like the fans and the backing and the support that he has, they're just giving up on him. So I don't know. That's not good for LA Knight. I can see within another 2-3 months, maybe not even that, LA Knight comes out to silence because people have just given up on him and they just don't care anymore.
Nope. It's almost like with his promo tonight, because I'll say this, his promo was not good tonight. Like, there was nothing exciting about his promo. And then you get to the end of it, and he does the whole, with everybody saying L.A. And then it was almost like the crowd was, like, busy doing their own thing, maybe having conversations with the people they went with or sitting next to. Oh, wait, we're supposed to say something. Yeah. And then it's just like you get that line of fans, like you get 10 fans that say yeah, then the other 20 are behind them going, yeah. It's like, yeah. And it was just so faint. Like,
wow.
That's what I mean. Is they are not hitting the mark when they have the high capacity of the mark. That's why I feel like if he were to win the world championship, even tomorrow, if he would win the world title tomorrow, I give it 3 months before the fans are like, all right, give us something new. Like, this is, and I know that's with almost every champion, but some champions seem to find a way. Like, look at Roman. Okay. I mean, and he's the perfect example because of his reign. He is the perfect example to bring up on this. Every time he had a title defense, it was, okay, hopefully this person wins. LA Knight, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, Kevin Owens, the list goes on. But with him being the champion that he was, whether you hated it or you loved it, you were watching because you had to sit there and say, I remember when.
Yeah.
It was all about that moment of who was going to beat Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And if his match was in your city, that was the ticket grab of, I need to be there if it happens.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
LA Knight, I don't think right now could do that. They got to find a way to get him back up to that level. Get him off TV for a couple weeks. Don't have him be there. Get him uninvolved in anything. Like, just back him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because like you said, he has the physique, he has the character, he has everything. He has all the tools to carry any championship in this company. But you're not, like, you miss the mark on him so many times. And it's not going to be exciting if you were to do it in the next 2-3 months. And now Seth Rollins is out. Perfect opportunity. But instead we're going to do CM Punk and Jey Uso. Then what? If you would have put the belt on LA Knight, he could have faced Jey Uso. He could have faced CM Punk, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dom Mysterio. He could have set up all these challengers. It's the question of when Jey or Punk win, Punk probably, who's next? Are you going to put LA Knight in front of CM Punk? Probably not. Are you going to put Jey Uso in front of CM Punk? Maybe once or twice. Maybe Jimmy once. Give Jimmy a little bit of that chance. Not going to succeed. But LA Knight has more of the options. CM Punk, I don't think, does. Unless he turns heel.
Yeah.
Is it going to be cool to see CM Punk win the world title? Yeah. Because 5 minutes ain't long enough.
No.
But I don't know.
And it's the thing too. This is the last thing I'll say before we move on.
Yeah.
But it's also the thing about, like, his promos are, he's basically saying the exact same thing.
It is.
Like, every time he loses a world championship opportunity, it's in layman's terms, it's basically him saying, shucks, I
Yeah,
lost another one, but I'll promise you guys I'll get the next one.
It's like I'll dust off
And
my knees and I'll put a
right.
Band-Aid over the wound and
And
keep
I felt
going.
I felt that more so tonight than any other promo. Like that's what like his demeanor, everything. It just felt like, oh shucks, I'll
He
get
didn't
him
even
next
seem
time.
into it tonight, dude.
No,
He didn't.
no, he's so depleted.
He is. It didn't seem like he was even into his own fucking promo tonight.
No, not at all.
It was so just downsized and so dull. Like I would have just kept him off the microphone tonight. I would have.
Just keep him off TV. You're not gonna do anything creative with him anyway. You're just gonna put him against Braun Breaker.
Yeah, and we've seen it before. Why do we need to see it again? Why? Oh, because we got to do the whole thing of either 8, 12, or 16 weeks of the same fucking match. Who cares? Nobody's gonna miss it.
No. No.
Last thing, Maxine and Pierce were backstage. Adam Pierce offered Maxine another shot at the Intercontinental Championship against Becky Lynch. She said that he said that she earned it. Maxine, surprisingly enough, declined it for now. She said, save it for a future. I got to talk to a friend to ask her if she thinks I'm ready for it or if I need to get myself more prepared. So somewhere down the road, Maxine is going to get a women's Intercontinental title match. It's just all about when. But it was kind of different to see them go that direction of instead of her coming back in a week or two and getting a shot, she's going to wait. How long they ride this out for, I don't know. And I thought this, the minute that they did that, I was like, you know what? Good for them for going this direction. But is this the way of saying we're writing this off, but we have a reason behind it? Because it's like you're going to have somebody say, I need to go talk to a friend and see if they think I'm ready. Train a little more, get more ready, and then take my opportunity. Part of me was like, that's cool. But then part of me was like, wow, what a way to kind of just brush this off. What a way to just kind of, move on from something by having her decline a shot right now. So, Cam, I don't know what you feel from this, but that's how I feel with it.
I mean, yeah, it is a way for them to brush it off, but not in a bad way. I guess more so cool off than I guess brush off. And they have an opportunity. I don't know if they're going to go this far. I honestly doubt it. The friend I'm thinking of that she's talking about would have to be Natalya Neidhart. They have an opportunity to do something interesting with this, and I mean, for the next couple of weeks, however long they decide to ride this out, and show training videos. Just have training video packages each week on Raw with her training with Natalya. I think that would be interesting to see Maxine training with Natalya or whatnot have you. Getting her in shape or getting her better prepared for Becky. I think that would be great. Just to have your audience not just completely forget that this was even a thing in the first place. If I had to guess, I mean, they are still trying to fill out the rest of this Survivor Series card, so maybe we see this again at Survivor Series, Maxine versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I think that would be a decent decision by them. So yeah, I don't see this as a bad thing. I think Becky might be off TV for a little bit as well. With again Seth recently injured, she probably wants to be home, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is just a way for them to cool that off for right now. But I definitely see them picking this back up, and I don't think it's going to take very long. It's probably a few weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I could see them possibly going down the Survivor Series road and, making this happen at Survivor Series. I could. And I'm with you. I think it's Natalya Neidhart because she's been training with her. It's been very well documented and made public that that's who she's been training with at the dungeon, for the past couple months. I mean, a lot of wrestlers go to the dungeon and train to kind of hone their craft a little bit more than they already have. But Maxine has been the more documented and more publicly made, to the point that Natalya has been the person that's been helping train her along with Natalya's husband. So I could see it. I could see a Survivor Series match. That would be a good match for Survivor Series. They both get on a big PLE. Natalya, it's been a while since we've seen her on a big PLE. Maxine, never seen her on a big PLE, so why not? Be a good one. Would be. But that's it for Monday Night Raw, 10/27/2025. we'll just see what happens post Saturday night's main event coming up this Saturday. That's not what I wanted. Oh, yeah, that is what I wanted. And we're going to talk about Saturday night's main event in a moment. But Cam, who is your superstar of the night?
This is a tough one. I'm gonna say, geez, who was my superstar of the night? I'll say my superstar of the night. I'll say it's the tag team of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. I think they did great in the main event. Just seeing them on Raw, which they're never on Raw, was just something different. It's something refreshing. Anytime you see superstars that are not normally on Raw, specifically in a match, let alone the main event, I think is always just kind of a great little mix up. It just adds a refreshing element that I think Raw just usually needs, especially if they don't give us much like they gave us tonight. So
that was a good one because they did do good in that match. It was good. It was, yeah. I don't know who mine would be. I just gotta pick
it's
one.
tough.
It is such a tough one to pick.
Oh
man. You know what? I'm gonna go Jey Uso.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Jey because of the aggression that he had in the promo with CM Punk. And I know we've heard Jey Uso in this aggressive tone before, but there was something a little different feeling from that aggression that leaves you thinking if something special might happen at Saturday night's main event. Whether it is a heel turn, if Jimmy's going to help him, or if we're going to see a more aggressive side of him to the fact that he does something to actually walk out of Saturday night's main event with the world title. I'm gonna go Jey Uso. I think he did a good job tonight in the 3 segments that he was in. So I'll go Jey. Let's talk Saturday night's main event, Cam. We have Saturday night's main event coming up on Saturday night. So I hate trying to do things as I'm trying to go here. 4 matches so far confirmed. Let's talk about them. World title first, Jey Uso, CM Punk. Both of them, the title was vacated because of Seth's injury. Jey wins a battle royal last week. Punk wins a triple threat 2 weeks ago. That's how we got here. Your thoughts, and if you have a pick for a winner.
Again, like I said, it's kind of predictable, I guess, that they kind of went this route. I felt like they could have done something else with that whole battle royal. Giving it to AJ Styles, since AJ Styles is retiring next year, or giving it to LA Knight that we just talked about, who's constantly overlooked or passed over for the next man. I even said go with a wild card and go with Penta. Penta doesn't have to win it. It would just be interesting to see Penta in a world championship match. That's something that he has not had yet. So yeah, just kind of predictable. And I think the wrong move is to go back to Jey, which I fear they're going to do. Punk, to me, I think is the rightful winner, just because I felt like that was the way that whole Seth and CM Punk feud was going to end anyways. Was CM Punk eventually dethroning Seth Rollins and becoming the world heavyweight champion. And I think also it's also a kind of a trophy in a sense for all his hard work since coming back. I mean, he had a phenomenal feud last year with Drew McIntyre. That was my favorite feud from 2024, and then a pretty decent feud with Seth Rollins thus far in 2025. So the guy's just been a workhorse, I think, for the WWE since coming back, and in a big focal point for great storytelling and great feuds. So I don't see why not giving him a run with the World Heavyweight Championship. It doesn't even have to be long, but definitely longer than 5 seconds or whatever it was the first time. So I'm going to go with the safe option, honestly, though, and say it's Jey Uso. So okay. I don't think they're done with Jey Uso, and maybe I always felt like they were going to circle back around to him only having like a 50-day reign or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the opportunity to circle back around to Jey Uso.
Yeah, the good thing about this is it could be a toss-up. It could be Jey Uso, it could be CM Punk, one of the two, because they both, Jey on the short title reign, CM Punk on the really short title reign of 5 minutes. It's a huge toss-up. Either way you look at it, I don't know if you could sit here and say backing into a corner because of the fact of who would you throw in front of either of these guys next. I think regardless, we're going to see 2 more matches from these guys challenging each other for the championship until they, we get a Royal Rumble winner or we get an Elimination Chamber winner leading up to WrestleMania, or even those events, Royal Rumble or Chamber. If the title gets defended it should get defended at Rumble, but if it gets defended at the Chamber. Again, they probably would have been better off going the direction of LA Knight until they figure out what they would do with Jay or CM Punk. But I'm with you. I kind of see Jay Uso doing it, and it's going to be because of Jimmy. Something tonight gave me that feeling that Jimmy is going to get involved on Saturday and help him win, and thus giving us more of CM Punk being backed away from the world title. Because CM Punk winning the world title at a show like Saturday Night's Main Event, I don't think is going to be as exciting as it would be at, like, let's say, a WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Because he had the WrestleMania main event this past year. Now it's all about getting him in the main event for a championship. I think that would be the full-on satisfaction, because when he was WWE champion and defended it a few years back, last time he was with the company, it wasn't in the main event with Jericho. It was just in a match in the middle of the card. So I think that would be the satisfaction, because he didn't even win at WrestleMania either. It's got to be a winning fashion.
Yeah.
So I personally want to go with Jay on this. I'm sorry for that long thing, but we got Cody defending the WWE title against Drew McIntyre. Another match between these two for the WWE Championship. Your thoughts on this one? And I mean, I'm going to take the guess of Cody's walking out. I don't see Drew doing it.
Why? How many more times do we need to see Drew and Cody?
Don't know. Don't fucking know, my friend. But it's happening again.
They okay. After WrestlePalooza, okay, because I was rooting hard for Drew McIntyre, and when it didn't happen, I'm like, okay, honestly, truthfully, what is next for Cody Rhodes? So, if we're getting this match yet again, they had better pull the trigger on Drew McIntyre. I don't see how many times they can keep. He's another one. I don't see how many more times they can keep passing over Drew McIntyre for the Golden Boy or the Golden Standard or their guy, and make this interesting. I just don't. I don't see it. So this has to be it. Honestly, I would love to see Drew McIntyre walk out the new WWE champion. Will it happen? Probably not. No. Cody Rhodes got that title lock and key. That's their guy. They're backing him no matter what. So I'm going with the safe option and saying Cody Rhodes retains.
I'm still on the Roman Cody 3 train for WrestleMania 42. I am. I'm still on that train. I think it's going to happen. I don't see Cody remotely even coming close to losing the championship before WrestleMania. I don't, because they tried it. Cena came out, won number 17, and not even 4 months later, SummerSlam, he was dropping, or 6 months later, whatever. Yeah. So we got the Intercontinental title, Dom defending against Penta and Rusev. We talked about a few minutes ago how this match came about. This is another one. I don't see Dom walking out without the Intercontinental title, as much as it would probably be a good thing to maybe put it on Penta and have him have finally have a run with it, because of how many fucking Intercontinental title matches this guy has had since showing up in WWE. I don't feel like they're going to do it. I think they're going to stick with Dom, but your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't see them having Dom drop the championship. It may be not even the right time. Again, you just talked about Saturday Night's Main Event not even being a big enough event for a world championship change for CM Punk. I don't think it's a big enough stage for Intercontinental Championship change. I don't even think it's the right. It's not the right feud either. It's not the right feud. It's not the right match. Nothing about this feels big enough. They definitely need a bigger stage. They definitely need something bigger to make you actually invested and pull you into thinking, okay, Dom's dropping the championship. This doesn't feel like that. So This is just another match, another defense. 100% Dom's walking out, still Intercontinental champion.
The final match to talk about that is announced as the WWE Women's Championship. It's going to be Tiffany defending against Jade Cargill. I'm going to say this. I think if out of all the championships that are on the line on Saturday night, this would be the right moment to change hands because of the Jade Cargill heel turn and everything that happened on Friday night. If you're going to pull the trigger, do it now. Do not wait. Don't think about building any more of the story than it's already built. I think this would be the perfect time to put the championship on Jade Cargill and start that run with her. Because if you wait, this whole thing can start dying in the water faster than it became what it is today. But your thoughts?
Well, first and foremost, I mean, I think you already know how I personally feel about Jade Cargill.
I do.
I made a whole video about this Jade Cargill heel turn thing. I'm not a fan of it. I think it was very forced. I don't think you needed to turn Jade Cargill heel just because all you need to do is just let her be what she was in AEW. She was a heel without actually like displaying heel tactics, if that makes any sense. She was just that juggernaut, that badass that just went out and squashed people and just, you know, went on this Goldberg-esque undefeated streak. So that's what you needed to do. You didn't need to turn her heel. I just think that's very forced. It feels like this is their last ditch effort to do something interesting with Jade Cargill. So I'm with you. They definitely need, if they're going to pull the trigger, do it now. I think they've had the title on Tiffany Stratton a lot longer than I thought they were going to have the title on her. And in the midst of this feud with her and Jade Cargill and these matches that they've had, I think they've kept the title on her and had her retain the championship in these matches as a crutch because they feel like Jade Cargill's not ready. So hopefully they have finally reached the end goal with whatever they're trying to do with Jade Cargill, whatever their vision is for her, whatever her path of success is in WWE is. So I think there is no bigger time than now. Honestly, there really is. And they can't wait till Survivor Series. They can't wait till Mania or Rumble. No, like you got to do it now. I'm curious to see how long this you know how much juice they have in the tank for this heel run for Jade Cargill. What they do? Who does she feud with next after this? So yeah, it's honestly time because they've put a lot of time and effort and investment in Jade Cargill. So it's now or never. So I'm taking Jade Cargill to win the championship.
I'm with you on that. Yeah. I mean, again, the time is the best. It's the best time. It is, bottom line. Last thing, Cam, on this day, two things I want to mention real quick that happened on this day as the ad pops up as I go over to it. Number one, back in 2008 on an episode of Monday Night Raw, Tucson, Arizona, CM Punk and Kofi Kingston defeated Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase to win the WWE World Tag Team Championships. So Cody and Kofi became tag title winners on this day in 2008. And also 2013, WWE Hell in a Cell pay-per-view took place in the American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida, where John Cena pinned Alberto Del Rio to win the World Heavyweight title. And the main event saw Randy Orton take on Daniel Bryan inside Hell in a Cell to win the vacated WWE Championship after special guest referee Shawn Michaels knocked down Bryan with a sweet chin music. A lot of things happened on this day, Cam. You should see the ways. No, not even just those two things. I mean, WCW Halloween Havoc took place on this day. Like there was like 10 Halloween Havocs. I'm over exaggerating. There was less than that, but the list of Halloween Havocs that happened, it's just insane. I'm not going to read them all. I'm not going to take me 30 minutes just to fucking read all of them. Well, Cam, that's all we got, man. Let's get the hell out of here. Your social medias are on the bottom. Make sure you're going over and checking out everything that Cam is doing on social media, especially Cam's Wrestling Corner. I promise you will love those videos. You love watching wrestling content videos from content creators. Cam's Wrestling Corner is the place to go. I'm not just saying it because he is digitally sitting next to me. I mean that. Great videos. But Cam, what else do you want to let the people know? What do you got going on?
Like I said, definitely keep up with me on Cam's Wrestling Corner, as Mike had said before. I just recently did a double upload yesterday, so check those videos out as well. Greatly appreciated. And then, of course, check us out every single Monday night right here on the Table Spot with another edition of the Table Spot talking about Monday Night Raw. And then we might do a Saturday Night's Main Event review show, so stick around for that as well. Have to discuss that with Mike, of course. So, but just stay tuned for that as well. And then, of course, on Wednesday night with the addition of Phil Khan, another episode of the Boom after AEW Dynamite. Stay tuned for that as well. And of course, we are live on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. on the Huddle Hub podcast, talking about some college football and the NFL. So love and appreciate you guys coming by and checking out the stream tonight.
All right. So make sure you're checking out everything Cam is doing all over social media. Instagram, X, TikTok, Snapchat is where you can find me, Metal Mike 714. I make announcements for the table spot on my X. So if you want to go follow me on X and you want to know announcements about the show, go follow there. Just like Cam said, we may do a post show about Saturday night's main event. That's something that we'll discuss throughout the week. And if we do, I'll make the announcement. You guys come check it out after Saturday night's main event on Saturday night. Like Cam said, Wednesday night with the Boom after AEW Dynamite, right here on River City Radio's Twitch off the top of his YouTube channel. And then on Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and Cam are on the Sunday edition of the Huddle Up Podcast, twitch.tv/the Huddle Up Podcast and youtube.com/@the Huddle Up Pod. Tomorrow night, me and John will be live at 7 p.m. running down the college football top 25 and getting you guys ready for week 10 of college football. And we are also going to recap week 8 of the NFL, and the trade deadline is coming up next Tuesday. So there's some trade talks happening already. A trade did happen today between the Rams and the Titans. We're going to cover all that. Plus, there was a firing in college football yesterday. So LSU fired Brian Kelly. So we're going to talk about that and so much more tomorrow on the Huddle Podcast, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come join us. With that being said, Cam, let's get out of here. Be good to each other. Be kind to each other. Take care of each other. Be patient with each other. Remember, the world is not moving as fast as you think. Until Wednesday night, we'll see you on the Boom. Until then, deuces.